The female CEO drops to one knee right in front of everyone, holding up a diamond ring and begging me to marry her. She's wearing the exact same pure white dress from back then, claiming she spent the last 5 years searching for me, her smile holding a trace of bitter resentment. But to me, she's completely filthy. I snatch that ring and shove it right back at her, throwing a vicious slap that sends her crashing to the ground, firmly snapping that I refuse to let her dirty my eyes ever again. Right after that, completely ignoring her pathetic frustration, I just turn around and walk right out of there without a single glance back. 5 whole years have passed since then. I finally returned to my old university for the big anniversary event, taking a slow stroll down those familiar tree-lined campus paths. All those old memories come flooding right back to me. 4 years of undergrad, 2 years getting my master's degree. This place held so much of my youthful joy, only for it all to end in a totally devastating tragedy. While I stand there, lost in thought, a surprisingly familiar voice suddenly calls out, "Mak Duong, is that really you?" That voice makes my chest feel incredibly heavy. I look up, and standing right in front of me is a stunningly beautiful woman with perfectly delicate eyebrows, glowing skin, dressed in a flawless white dress. It is the exact look I used to love, right down to my bones. It's just that 5 years washed away all that innocent charm. Now, she carries this intensely sharp aura of a really powerful career woman. Tranla, it really is her. We were childhood friends, growing up side by side. From elementary school all the way through college, we were always in the same class. That kind of connection naturally pulled us together without even trying. There was a time when holding her hand for the rest of my life was my biggest dream. But here is the thing about trust. It breaks fast. Who could have guessed a single transfer student would totally crush everything? Because of that guy, she flipped the truth, falsely accusing me of plagiarism and almost ruining my graduation entirely. This toxic connection should have been completely severed a long time ago. Tranla looks both thrilled and genuinely terrified. She rambles endlessly about how much she missed me and how incredibly hard she searched for 5 years. Mak Duong, where have you been these past 5 years? I tried absolutely everything and just couldn't find you. Without you, I simply cannot survive. I spent so many nights tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Let's stop fighting and just forget the past, please. She carefully tugs at my sleeve, desperately trying to hold on. I just coldly shake her hand off me. We cut ties a very long time ago. Smart dogs don't block the road. But she stubbornly grabs onto me, refusing to let go, begging me to stay. Right then, a whole group of her closest girlfriends swarms around us, loudly chiming in to give their unwanted advice. It's been so long, and you two don't even have any deep hatred between you. Just let it go. La waited 5 whole years for you. A woman's prime youth doesn't last many 5-year stretches, so don't be so ungrateful. Lala started a super successful business and is a genuine CEO right now. You really need to face reality. The loud chattering from this annoying group makes the anger inside me completely boil over. But then, she suddenly raises a huge diamond ring right up to my face with both hands. Mak Duong, I'm begging you to put this ring on me. Will you please marry me? Staring at this ring that's supposed to symbolize love, the furious fire I kept buried for 5 years absolutely explodes. Back in the day, she ruthlessly framed me for true fan. And now, she's putting on this deep affection act. Based on what exactly? It's truly sickening to the core. I snatch that ring, forcefully shove it toward her mouth, and swing a massive slap that literally sends her flying away. Smart dogs, stay out of the way. Under the shocked stares of her besties, I walk straight ahead. The things she did back then make a person purely despise her. I have to head into the restroom just to calm down. 5 years ago, she totally ignored right and wrong, listening only to true fans' completely one-sided lies to publicly accuse me of plagiarism, utterly destroying my reputation. She literally said she could prove true fans' thesis was the original, which meant Mak Duong was absolutely the one stealing it. I've kept that burnt into my memory for 5 years. Luckily, my advisor, Professor Vuong, stepped up to defend me so I could smoothly graduate. But I had no face left to stay in the country. I had to go overseas just to survive. 5 years flashed by, and now I'm back to start my own business. Now watch closely. My status is totally different, and I will definitely make those past enemies pay. I plan on buying a massive luxury apartment as my new home base. I'm certainly not lacking in the money department. My target is definitely those apartments over 200 square meters with a balcony wider than 30. Even if I start a family later, it's plenty spacious. Arriving at the city's most premium real estate sales office, I unexpectedly bump right into an old acquaintance named Lu Tiu. She happens to be Tran Le's best friend, currently working as a sales rep right here. This woman was incredibly vain back in our university days. She didn't show up at the school anniversary yesterday, probably because she's doing so terribly she didn't dare show her face. Lu Tiu was actually an accomplice back then, running around spreading the rumor about my plagiarism until the whole department was pointing fingers at me. On graduation day, she even mocked me for being a pathetic simp, saying compared to true fan, I was way worse and fundamentally unworthy of her friend. That ear-piercing insult is still burnt crystal clear in my memory even now. Seeing her today, our statuses are a complete world apart. I walk straight up and pick the project's most expensive apartment, totaling over 3 million yuan, and swipe my card to pay it all. I pull out the black card, and Liu Zhaoxia's eyes instantly fill up with pure admiration and absolute thirst. Standing at 1.85 meters, straight as a pine tree, in a custom high-end suit, I'm looking seriously incredibly handsome. Liu Zhaoxiao stares until her face turns completely red, her legs literally turning to jelly. Chu Maiyang, I didn't expect you to change this much, she says. Her tone is overflowing with a totally unprecedented, sweet gentleness. I give this little half smile. People always have to keep looking forward, right? She obediently plays along, actually taking the initiative to invite me out for dinner. I happily agree. This is the very first time she has ever invited me for a meal, and it's also going to be her absolute last. During the dinner, I tell her all about my wild experiences over the past year. She's completely amazed by my luck, endlessly praising my strong, unyielding willpower. On the flip side, she starts complaining about her own tough life, whining about how making money just isn't easy at all. Since graduation, nothing has gone smoothly for her, and a few romances ended up going absolutely nowhere. She even trash talks the men around her as total losers, guys who can't support a family, falling way short of my massive wealth. While talking, she slips off her high heels right under the table, gently hooking her foot around my ankle. This kind of cheap vulgarity is just temporary amusement at best, never actually catching my eye. After a few totally failed seduction attempts, Liu Zhaoxiao takes full advantage of my bathroom break to secretly slip something into my wine glass. Knowing full well about the old grudge between Chen Li and me, yet still scheming like this, it just shows her so-called sisterhood is completely fake. I laugh coldly at her sheer naivety, pure stupidity, and her actively seeking her own ruin. Now watch this move. Back in my seat, I play dumb and just swap the glasses. Half an hour later, it hits Liu Zhaoxia's eyes go hazy, feeling completely unbearably hot. I guide her out of the restaurant. If you're hot, let's get some fresh air. Then I just leave her right there on the sidewalk. By now, she's completely out of her mind, clinging onto me like a desperate octopus, constantly begging for more. I absolutely refuse to give her what she wants, instead simply raising my hand to point toward a black Mercedes parked nearby, revealing a heavily built foreign guy sitting right inside. Liu Zhaoxiao literally cheers, thanking heavens, and dashes over there like an absolute maniac. The very next second, a massive crash echoes out. Assistant Sun steps up and asks Boss Chu, "Do you need me to arrange a companion for you at tonight's banquet?" I stand up, walk over to the window, and casually light up a cigarette. The winter night falls strangely early, the sky darkening completely outside, my shadow reflecting on the glass as the smoke rings slowly fade into the shifting light and shadows. Over these past few years, I've focused entirely on deeply researching electric vehicle technology, successfully holding multiple key patents. Right now, I've even received a truly massive investment from a top domestic fund, officially invited back home to properly set up the new energy industry. The very day I landed, the operating company in the South Province reached a strategic partnership with me, planning to gradually replace the millions of taxis under their direct control. Currently, I really need to finalize solid contracts with several major battery suppliers. Tonight's fancy banquet is actually the very first major meeting with all the relevant research and development enterprises. I step into the banquet hall wearing formal attire, never expecting to run right into her once again. Right beside her stands a man totally average in looks, but his expression is incredibly sinister, with even his casual smile clearly revealing a deeply hidden, malicious agenda. That guy is Zhao Fan, the transfer student from back then. 5 years unseen, and he somehow makes people despise him even more. I slightly raise an eyebrow, silently cursing my absolute bad luck. Honestly, I totally saw this coming, because right before coming back, I had already thoroughly investigated Zhao Fan. He's always been working at Chen Li's company. Right at that exact moment, the two of them also spot me. He looks totally shocked. Mayang, why are you here too? Did you come to attend Mr. Chu's banquet? Who on earth did you come with? Check out this guy's ego. Have you found a job yet? Seeing my suit, he just assumes I'm some lowly attendant tagging along. His judgment is seriously just so pathetic. Chen Li chimes in too. Mayang, it's been a long time. Li says, you're back. I'm honestly so happy to see you. Zhao Fan pretends to be super enthusiastic, hugging me tight like an old friend reuniting, but the smile on his face is as stiff as a board. You haven't been back long, so you definitely haven't found an official job yet, right? Are you still just doing an internship somewhere? Tell me, which company is it? I'll put in a good word to help you get hired officially. I just casually smile. Hearing your tone, it sounds like you've really moved up in the world. I actually thought you were inside Chen Li's company, just being a pretty boy living off a woman. Zhao Fan's face instantly freezes up in pure shock. Chen Li hurriedly steps in to smooth things over. Do you remember Liu Zhaoxiao at all? She just suddenly passed away. Zhao Fan and I actually just got back from attending her sad memorial service yesterday. I shake my head. Sorry, we weren't close. Chen Li sighs heavily and changes the subject. You should come to my company. I saved a core assistant position for you. I pretend to be confused. An assistant is an assistant. But what does core mean? Do I really have to sleep with you? That single comment instantly makes Chen Li turn completely red in the face with utter embarrassment. I smirk, showing obvious mockery, telling me to go work for you. Don't even joke around. Years ago you accused me of plagiarism, calling my character absolute garbage. And now, you actually want me to put on a happy, smiling face? Zhao Fan immediately jumps in to play the good guy. It was all just a big misunderstanding. I totally believe you didn't plagiarize anything. Back then, Li just cared too much and panicked, leading to that misunderstanding. Mayang, you're a man, so you should really be a bit more generous. Turn L frowns again, actually turning around to blame our MC instead. She tells McDG he already knows the real truth. She says she was his girlfriend and just hoped he wouldn't go down the wrong path. Is that really so wrong? She claims she let the past go, so why can't he just move on? He completely snaps, tells her to shut her trash mouth, and practically spits right in her face, his eyes glaring like absolute daggers. He challenges her right back. Tell me, what exactly is the real truth here? Stop acting like a mad dog, biting everyone, he warns. Good and bad karma always come back around, and heaven punishes those who cross the line. After dropping that, he just turns around and walks away. A few steps later, he looks back with a quick reminder. That girl Lu Tiu was her accomplice back then. And didn't she just get exactly what she deserved? Turn L and Triu Pan just stare at each other, a sudden chill running straight down their spines. Saying even one more word to those two makes him totally sick. Luckily, the banquet hasn't started yet, so he heads toward the restroom just to catch his breath. Rounding the hallway corner, he suddenly spots a woman crouching down on the floor. Long black hair covers half her face, but with that absolutely stunning figure and tiny waist, she is honestly top tier. Hearing his footsteps approach, the woman slowly lifts her head up. Her eyes are shining bright like literal stars. They stand out so much in the dim light. Her red lips part, letting out a soft groan of pain. He immediately recognizes that face. It is Nin Thai Vien, the only daughter of the Nin family. And she isn't just anybody. She happens to be the CEO of the legendary Nin Group, and she is also lined up as their official future heir. With her gorgeous looks and standing 1.75 meters tall, plus heels, she easily makes countless guys back down. Right now though, her eyes are teary like a hurt little animal. She points at her right foot, begging him to help massage it for just a bit. Without waiting, she slips off her shoe and stocking, showing off her perfectly pale toes. Before he can even react, she places her foot right into his hand, acting totally helpless. He just gives a bitter smile and completely rejects her on the spot. Nin Thai Vien looks totally shocked and snaps at him. She calls him a blockhead, claiming it is an absolute blessing just to touch her foot. She brags about all the younger guys who used to chase her around constantly. He just shrugs. So what? He says he isn't one of those guys and won't spoil her. He even plugs his nose, joking her foot stinks and Nin Thai Van bites her lip, throwing me this incredibly bitter sideways glare. Over in the banquet hall, glasses keep clinking, but the main VIP hasn't even shown up yet, leaving absolutely everyone super curious and guessing tonight. Every single person here wants to go all out to win that massive contract and send their company straight to the top. But here is the wildest part. They have zero clue the legendary Mr. Chu they are waiting for is exactly the guy they just disrespected. On the other side, True Fan looks completely smug, bragging to Tranla that he already connected with Mr. Chu's personal assistant. He tells her to just trust him. His performance tonight is absolutely guaranteed to leave a massive impression on Mr. Chu. Tranla barely reacts at all. Her eyes just keep unconsciously drifting toward that quiet figure, hidden in the dark corner, looking totally way down. True Fan follows her gaze, and instantly, a massive wave of deep irritation flares up inside him. He forces his jealousy down and chuckles to Tranla. He clearly knows she hates seeing him struggle, but Chu Mak Duong ending up in such a pathetic state is entirely his own doing now. Tranla mutters to herself very softly he clearly made a mistake, but so many years have already passed. Why can't he just be a little more generous? True Fan gives this totally helpless, bitter little laugh. He offers to go over and talk, maybe hire him at their own company. Since her heart still clearly cares, keeping him around is no big deal anyway. Tranla looks totally grateful. If only Mak Duong was even half as understanding as him, she wouldn't have such a massive headache right now. True Fan struts right up to me, and his face instantly shifts. He tilts his chin up super arrogantly, trying to look down on me. Except he is actually half a head shorter. The way he strains his neck to talk looks absolutely ridiculous. He asks why I even bothered coming back after vanishing for 5 whole years. Purely asking for trouble. True Fan whips out a check, telling me to take these 200,000 and stay away from Tranla forever. He practically spits out that I am completely unworthy of her right now. I take that check and rip it straight in half. He really thinks this tiny amount of money can chase me away? He snaps at me. Who do I think I am? Wanting even more. True Fan leans in super close, his mouth practically brushing against my throat. He claims I couldn't survive abroad, and only crawled back to live off women. He tries to warn me, and then smack. I suddenly raise my hand and slap him right across the face, twisting his jaw. I ask if he ever brushes his unbelievably filthy mouth. My voice isn't quiet at all. It instantly grabs the attention of everyone standing around us. True Fan clutches his face, feeling completely humiliated. He roars out loud calling me a brutal thug for hitting him, swearing he will throw me right out of here. He yells out for the hall manager, completely swearing up and down that I sneaked into this fancy party without any invitation at all. The manager hesitates a little bit, giving me the suspicious look. Everyone here tonight is super rich and powerful, so he is pretty terrified. I might just be a hidden boss pretending to be weak. See, this manager actually reads lots of web novels. He knows perfectly well that plenty of overpowered experts absolutely love pulling off those dramatic underdog reversals. If he accidentally kicks a real iron plate, his tiny manager title won't save him from the fallout. I don't really want to make things hard for him, so I just pull out a gold-rimmed black card. In an instant, the manager's eyes shrink in pure shock. He recognizes it right away as the only supreme invitation in the entire banquet. My real identity suddenly becomes crystal clear to him. The manager bows deeply and asks Mr. Chu, "Do you need me to throw this guy out?" Trio Pan stares with wide eyes, yelling out that the manager is crazy. But before he finishes complaining, a crisp slap rings out. The manager delivers a pretty brutal hit right to his cheek. "What are you looking at?" the manager shouts, warning him not to disrespect Mr. Chu. That strike was incredibly heavy, leaving Trio Pan's mouth completely twisted. That loud slap instantly grabs the attention of the entire room. The whispers died down completely, and absolutely everyone turns their eyes straight toward Trio Pan. In just 3 short minutes, he has eaten 2 direct slaps. He is so furious that the blue veins on his forehead are twitching wildly. Losing my patience, I wave my hand. I tell the manager to drag this guy a little further away. The manager immediately gives orders through his radio. 4 or 5 security guards quickly rush over to surround him. In front of everyone, Trio Pan simply cannot handle this extreme humiliation. He screams right in my face. No matter how high I climb, I'm still just a bottom-feeding insect. He vows to step all over my head for his entire life. Turnell looks completely stunned, glancing at Trio Pan with a bit of pity. I casually drop the truth. "We will see who the pathetic one really is in just a moment." Trio Pan's face turns even more vicious. He leans in close, using a mocking voice, just quiet enough for the 2 of us to hear. "You are just an insect," he says, "a total failure who can never hold his head up in front of Turnell." "Well, what about it?" He admits he framed me for that thesis incident, asking what I can even do about it. Turnell will never believe me anyway, only him. He backs off, probably scared I might strike again. After saying that, he immediately jumps away. Seeing my silence, he assumes he somehow won his dignity back, looking even more incredibly smug. He claims he will definitely remember these 2 slaps today. He threatens to track down my boss later just to get me completely removed. "Fired on the spot," he says. In this city, he swears to leave me nowhere to hide. I get a little curious. Are you really that terrifying? Trio Pan snorts coldly, claiming he has quite a bit of fame in this industry. I fire right back. Relying on my thesis for that, right? You used it to leech off Turnell for the past year. Honestly, it seems her company really is not that great after all. You are just jealous, he claims. Now watch him dig his own grave. Trio Pan loudly shouts about exposing my dirty past as a plagiarizing dog. I just pat his shoulder. You really should shut up now. He tries to speak, but the manager gives him another crisp slap. A strict warning drops. The banquet started, Mr. Chu is taking the stage, and any more noise means his tongue gets cut out. Hearing the name Mr. Chu, he reluctantly shuts his mouth. The security guards grab his arms, tossing him right back to Turnell's side. At this exact moment, the host steps onto the stage. He loudly announces my full background. The venue lights suddenly go dark. Several bright spotlights shoot straight at me. Turns out, I am the guy. All those guests watching the drama take a sharp, cold breath. They secretly thank their lucky stars they did not accidentally offend me earlier. I stride up there, announcing the domestic launch of our new energy vehicle project. We are officially opening bids for 3 cooperative battery suppliers. Trio Pan grabs his head, staring at me in total disbelief. How is this possible? He screams that they are all being scammed. He yells out that I am a massive fraud. He insists I am just academic plagiarizing trash. That is Chu McDG, college friend, he shouts. He could not survive here and ran overseas. So how the hell could he be Mr. Chu? Absolutely impossible. Come on, Turnell, tell them I am right. He cannot be him, he babbles. Trio Pan's eyes are completely bloodshot now. He grips Turnell's hand tightly like a drowning man facing death, desperately hoping her nod will pierce straight through my disguise. But right now, Turnell is just standing there entirely dazed. For a long time, she cannot speak. She desperately does not want to believe I am the real Mr. Chu, yet everything happening right here forces her to accept it. My assistant Tien storms out from backstage, absolutely furious. He charges straight at Trio Pan, throwing a massive punch for daring to curse out our boss. You really have a death wish? He growls. Time to teach you a painful lesson. Tien lands heavy blows, making Trio Pan scream out in sheer agony. This exact scene completely confirms my true identity to everyone. Now here is the kicker. Tien used to attend local business alliance meetings pretty often. All the guests present actually recognize him and know his rather impressive background. Even before I officially showed up, he was already considered a massive figure in their eyes. For a moment, the banquet hall goes dead silent. Nobody even dares to breathe heavily. Only the heavy, dull thuds of punches hitting flesh remain. Tien fiercely lands over 100 hits, fighting until he is exhausted before letting the manager take over. Trio Pan gets battered so badly his face is almost deformed. Turnell simply cannot watch this anymore. She steps up, begging me to spare Trio Pan's life. I give a quick signal for them to stop, but this makes Turnell completely misunderstand the situation. Choking on tears of emotion, she cries out, I knew it. You still have me in your heart. Hearing that instantly makes my stomach turn. I give the cold order. Keep beating him. Zhao Sun and manager Yuan do not hesitate at all. Zhao Fan screams out endlessly, begging us to stop. Chen Li just opens her mouth, completely unable to force another single word out. We wait until Zhao Fan is crawling on the floor like a beaten dog. Then I finally project that phone video right onto the big screen. In it, Zhao Fan calls me a pathetic bug, a total loser who could never stand tall in front of Chen Li. He actually laughs on screen. So what if I totally framed you for that thesis? Chen Li will never believe a word you say. She only trusts me. Zhao Fan's vicious, mocking face takes up the entire massive screen. It is exactly the hidden footage I secretly recorded just a little while ago. The entire banquet hall instantly erupts into absolute chaos. Chen Li looks like she might actually collapse right there. How is this even possible? He clearly told her I stole it. She bends forward in sheer agony. Tears pour down her face, remembering all those times she testified for Zhao Fan and fully backed his plagiarism lies against me. An endless wave of heavy regret finally hits her. Zhao Fan looks completely shattered on the floor, just mumbling that it is over. After the banquet finally wraps up, Chen Li actually blocks my path outside. She looks absolutely miserable, her pretty face completely filled with total despair. She cries out, why didn't I just explain things back then? If I had simply shown proof, she wouldn't be so blind. I do not even bother hiding my absolute disgust for her anymore. Every single word she says just makes my skin crawl. Fighting back the sudden urge to lash out at her, I coldly fire back. Did I really never try to explain? I argued until my mouth went completely dry, but she never believed a single word. I had no solid evidence, sure, but did Zhao Fan actually have any either? She just chose to believe him instead of me. She desperately tries to deny it and defend herself. But I really do not want to hear another pathetic excuse. Enough, I say. Her heart had already strayed years ago, the moment she started catching real feelings for Zhao Fan. Chen Li shakes her head in total shock. Then why exactly was her precious thesis sitting right there in Zhao Fan's hands? I just let out a bitter sneer. She should really ask herself that, considering she was the only person alive who knew my computer password. Chen Li frantically swears she never leaked the code to Zhao Fan. She starts begging and apologizing endlessly, promising she will get Zhao Fan fired to finally win back my justice. But honestly, I am entirely done playing these exhausting games and want absolutely nothing to do with her. Any justice I deserve, I will gladly take back myself. Karma always comes back around, and fate never spares a single soul. Anyone who does dirty deeds will never escape the final harsh consequences. Watching her stand there completely drenched in tears, a heavy sigh escapes me. If Zhao Fan had never showed up, Chen Li and I might have actually gotten married by now. Maybe even started a family together. But sadly, everything has completely changed for good. Think about it, Chen Li just kept taking Zhao Fan's side time and time again, letting their bond grow uncomfortably close. I got absolutely furious and argued with her over it. I even struck Zhao Fan once because he deliberately provoked me. Yet she still vigorously defended him to the bitter end. We fought constantly, and whatever real affection we had simply kept eroding. It slowly faded to nothing until that massive plagiarism scandal exploded. Back at the hotel, spot a gorgeous figure waiting right by my door. I have to admit, the Ning family's influence is seriously impressive. If they tracked me down, finding my exact room is no small feat. Ning Taiyun leans casually against the frame, eyeing me with deep interest. The great Mr. Chu himself. She teases me about staying in a hotel instead of buying a place. She even offers up her own home, but I quickly brush her off. My actual house is just under renovation. I politely ask her to leave. Ning Taiyun just stomps her foot and pouts playfully, whining that I am being so mean when she came all this way. I check my watch. It is almost midnight. A man and a woman alone in a room? Well, if she does not mind, I definitely have absolutely nothing to lose. Ning Taiyun follows me right inside and immediately pulls out a business plan. Turns out, the Ning Group has a full proposal to become my main supplier. I read through the details carefully, and the terms are actually incredibly fair. Given the Ning family's massive tech capabilities, they really are the absolute best choice for a new battery supplier. I glance up at her, catching myself feeling genuinely quite startled. Now, pay close attention to her next move. This woman is dangerously clever. I remember perfectly well. She wasn't wearing this at the banquet. She clearly went out of her way to slip into this stunningly gorgeous dress just for me. I finally close the proposal folder and politely thank her for the generous offer. Instead of leaving, Ning Taiyun just props her incredibly long legs right onto my lap, complaining that they ache and demanding a massage. I clear my throat awkwardly, telling her this is really unnecessary. The Ning family already has serious power and solid backing. I was honestly planning to consider them for this partnership anyway, but she just will not let it go, whining again for a quick massage. My patience completely snaps at that point. Seriously, what kind of massage does she expect? We are adults. We should just be completely direct. I pull her into my arms, drawing a soft gasp right from her lips. 1 full week passes by. Soon after, Zhao Sun reports that Chen Li actually went ahead and fired Zhao Fan. He has now shamefully scurried back to the academy to teach. But Chen Li is absolutely nowhere near done with him yet. She goes straight to the academy board, publicly declaring that the real plagiarizer from last year was actually Zhao Fan all along. She admits to carrying massive, agonizing regret all these years. Driven completely by her own guilty conscience, she passionately demands harsh punishment for him, hoping to finally clear Chu Muyang's name of any past wrongdoing. Ever since that massive banquet wrapped up, my personal reputation has absolutely skyrocketed. I now hold enough real power to boost the entire local economy myself. As one of their former elite students, the academy is naturally thrilled to have my record scrubbed completely clean. I've totally got what it takes to be the academy's official promotional icon anyway. Wiping out this plagiarism stain would be for the best. So, the academy's top brass decided to reopen the investigation into that old case. Turn L immediately handed over a video of Triu Pan confessing everything himself, and even posted it right on the school forum. Almost instantly, Triu Pan's reputation was completely ruined. Pushed to a corner, he begged his advisor, Professor Ving, to step in and convince me to settle this peacefully. Professor Ving didn't treat me badly back, then he was the one who suppressed the issue. Otherwise, I might not have even graduated smoothly. Like they say, better to squash a feud. Triu Pan has pretty much learned his harsh lesson now. He hoped I'd leave the guy a way out. I just nodded. Honestly, he shouldn't have come to me anyway, since Turn L was the one pushing it. But since Professor Ving asked, I had to give him some face. So I just asked him exactly what kind of way out he wanted to give him. Professor Ving thought about it for a long while, realizing it was pretty tough to wrap this old mess up nicely. So he offered to handle it personally. He suggested saying our papers just had overlapping ideas, claiming we both referenced the exact same foreign tech magazine for our research, saying it was all a big misunderstanding back then, and I just needed to show a good attitude. Seeing his eyebrows furrowed so tightly, I honestly couldn't hold back a loud laugh. Outsiders might not know the real story, but my mind, crystal clear. There was absolutely zero chance that paper was a coincidence. A lot of the core ideas inside were my own unique creations. I mean, there was no foreign magazine anywhere that actually published those specific concepts. Professor Ving's flimsy excuse would only trick a 3-year-old. The academy leaders would never buy it that easily. Seeing my sudden smirk, the old professor just looked totally confused. I instantly dropped my smile, tone perfectly, completely calm. Professor Ving, you're almost at retirement age, so why are you still so worried about Triu Pan? Truly living up to that model teacher title, huh? Professor Ving easily caught the heavy sarcasm in my voice, and his face instantly turned incredibly awkward and pale. Now wait for this reveal. I pulled out a solid paternity test report, which clearly stated that Triu Pan was actually Professor Ving's own biological son. Thinking back, you were the one who handed my paper to Triu Pan, right? I gave it to you for review, and less than 2 days later, Triu Pan reported me for plagiarism. Initially, thought Turn L was just being completely foolish and entirely blind. But seeing her earlier reaction, she definitely didn't do it. So who could actually mess with it? Only Professor Ving. Professor Ving gave a bitter laugh, shaking his head, claiming he absolutely didn't do it. The brat just snuck it away. Turns out, he took my paper home to edit back then, and Triu Pan copied it. Out of fatherly love, Professor Ving cruelly chose not to expose him. I was so mad I just laughed. So I had to carry that injustice and sneak abroad? Where is your conscience? Remember when you taught us that before doing any work at all, you must be a good person, and building character comes first? Is this how you set an example? The heavy backlash of the truth finally hit Professor Ving hard. Endless regret and deep guilt completely tormented his conscience. He bowed incredibly low in front of me, sincerely apologizing, admitting he was totally wrong. After the whole truth came out, Professor Ving was officially demoted and suspended, while Triu Pan got kicked straight out of the academy for good. Later, Turn L came looking for me, pulling out a ring to propose again. Triu Pan had finally faced his punishment. She said she made up for her past mistakes and asked me to marry her. Marry her? Keep dreaming. I practically shoved that ring right back into her mouth. You call Triu Pan's ending a real punishment? It's nowhere near enough. She begged me not to be so heartless, saying she'd waited 5 whole years for me. Spitting the ring out, Turn L still wanted to desperately cling to me. Right at that exact moment, Ninthai Vn suddenly showed up, casually linking her arm right through mine. Babe, why is this same woman here again? She put on the absolute main girl attitude, sharply warning Turn L to stay far away from me. McDG is my man now, so don't be so shameless. Turn L completely refused to believe it. How could this possibly be real? She thought I was just trying to make her mad. But Ninthai Vn straight up mentioned the dark mole right on my tailbone, flashing a very knowing smile. Miss Turn, I'm pretty sure you've already experienced my man's incredibly impressive skills, right? Hearing those exact words hit her. Turn L let out a tragic scream, grabbing her head and sobbing in absolute, ultimate heartbreak. But here's the crazy part you didn't see coming. Trio Pan stepped from the shadows with a fierce look, deep hollow eyes, completely messy hair, looking exactly like a pathetic, completely down on his luck beggar. He claimed he was the absolute only one who truly loved her. Then, he suddenly pulled out a fruit knife, the blade flashing a cold blue gleam. Chu McDG, you ruined my future, and I want you to pay for it. Saying that, he lunged right at me with the knife. Watch out, Ninth IVN screamed in pure terror, but Turn L quickly blocked me, treating it like a final goodbye as she said, McDG, I love you. Get lost. Do not block the way. McDG lands a slap that sends Turn L tumbling, then barehandedly snatches the blade right from that guy's grip. Her mouth twisting in anger, Turn L grabs the blade and viciously lunges straight at Trio Pan. She screams that it is all his fault for completely ruining her happiness. Talk about a split-second reaction. Trio Pan shoots his hand out to catch the sharp blade, cutting his palm so badly it turns into a total mess, grimacing in absolute agony. Those two just keep wrestling back and forth right in front of him. Trio Pan panics and begs her put the weapon down first. Do not do anything crazy. Only when you are completely gone will I calm down. Trio Pan stomps around in total panic, calling her utterly blinded and refusing to see reason. He insists it is obvious. He loves her. She loves McDG. Everyone loves someone else. Just turn around, he says, and they can all finally be happy together. But Turn L is just overflowing with vicious intent now. She screams how much she regrets being completely blind and foolish back then. She lunges hard, making Trio Pan shriek loudly. McDG genuinely loses his patience, telling them to stop howling like total maniacs right in front of him. Talk about absolutely brutal timing. McDG casually kicks Trio Pan right in the backside, sending him stumbling straight forward. A sharp slicing sound echoes as the fruit knife instantly buries itself right into his lower regions. Trio Pan clutches his lower half, collapsing to his knees in absolute agony as a dark stain quickly spreads outward. Turn L suddenly panics completely and hastily yanks the blade right out. The sheer pain makes Trio Pan's eyes basically pop out of his head. Seeing things go completely wrong, she scrambles in total panic and frantically shoves the knife right back into the exact same spot. Trio Pan is hurting so badly he actually starts foaming at the mouth. Turn L slumps to the floor, crying and blaming him for completely ruining her entire life. If not for him, she sobs, her kid with McDG would already be old enough to run errands. Does this terrible guy not feel even a tiny bit of guilt? Weakened to his absolute limit, Trio Pan quietly begs them, please just take him to the hospital first. It hurts way too much down there. Turn L just grabs his head, screaming out in pure absolute frustration. She yells that she only treated him so well because Teacher Ving specifically asked her to. The teacher said he was a relative, completely new to this foreign town, and needed some extra looking after. Yet after all that, he actually dared to scheme against her own man. I was incredibly stupid to trust you, she cries, swearing he will meet a totally terrible end. Trio Pan's lips are slowly turning purple. Barely breathing, he completely surrenders, begging them with his last strength to please get him to a hospital. The more he fades, the colder his entire body feels. But Turn L absolutely refuses to let go, grabbing his hair and demanding a real explanation. Using whatever tiny scrap of strength he has left, Trio Pan mutters back. It is obvious she liked him too. So how could he not notice it all these years? He insists he only did all these terrible things just to finally be with her. He knew she still could not let go of McDG. He figured just ruining the guy meant she would finally belong entirely to him. Turn L shakes her head in pure fury, calling him a lunatic and swearing she never loved him. Seeing she refuses to listen, Trio Pan turns to McDG and begs, complaining about severe dizziness. McDG just acts completely helpless here. Being dizzy is a minor issue, he says. It is much better if these two clearly settle their own debts first. He suggests Turn L speaks up first, just so he can finally see if she was secretly cheating on him all this past year. Turnell immediately starts swearing up and down. She completely guarantees she stayed entirely loyal, never even letting Triu Pan lay a single finger on her. McDG casually looks over at Triu Pan, asking if he has anything to add. Triu Pan is so furious he practically wants to explode, wishing he could just destroy the entire world. Say something, Turnell cries out anxiously. She is literally shedding tears now as she violently shakes his weakened body back and forth. Seeing Triu Pan's eyes starting to roll all the way back, McDG quickly stops her. Alright, fine, he says. Even if she stayed loyal physically, her heart was definitely wavering early on, right? McDG sighs heavily. Everyone already knows exactly what she felt for that guy back then, so she really needs to stop treating them like complete fools. Turnell's face turns totally ashen before she finally confesses. Since McDG was always just focused on his academic studies, she genuinely did catch feelings for the charming and carefree Triu Pan. She thought keeping boundaries meant it was fine. She admits her heart wavered, crying that she totally deserves the worst. She really is terrible. McDG completely agrees. Helping frame him was genuinely unforgivable, honestly. Right then, a sudden heavy thud echoes loudly. Triu Pan completely collapses to the ground, pupils dilated, his actual fate totally unclear. Afterwards, McDG just heads out with Nin Thivien to meet her parents. The vibe between everyone is wonderfully harmonious, and they smoothly sign the partnership agreement. The Nin family officially becomes the main battery supplier for McDG's brand new energy project. Once Nin's dad puts the agreement away, his expression suddenly completely changes. McDG's heart skips a beat, secretly feeling like something really bad is about to happen. Before Nin's dad can even speak, Nin's mom jumps right in first. She looks at McDG and asks if the two of them are already officially together. If so, she says, he needs to take real responsibility and figure out when to host the wedding. McDG completely freezes up for a second. Can they seriously just discuss something like this right out in the open? Nin's dad impatiently chimes in next. A real man should never be afraid to admit things, he declares. McDG glances over at Nin Thivien, but she simply pretends not to notice anything. Left with no choice, he bites the bullet and admits it. Her parents exchange a look, instantly breaking into massive smiles. Since the happy event is already approaching, they consider this partnership agreement a little betrothal gift from their family. As for the dowry, Nin's dad holds up a single finger, promising to pour a massive 10 billion yuan straight into McDG's new energy business. McDG is absolutely beyond thrilled. 10 billion yuan in capital, plus a completely stunning, long-legged beauty right by his side. He is finally going to live the absolute dream life. That evening, everyone enjoys a truly wonderful and joyous dinner together. My future father-in-law and I just polished off 5 bottles of liquor. He insists I stay over, but according to local custom, Nin Thivien and I must sleep in totally separate rooms. But this girl sneaks right into my room, curling up in my arms and demanding cuddles. Riding that liquid courage, I lean in to take things a step further. She is totally in the mood too, but right at the critical moment, the lights suddenly flick on. My future mother-in-law stands in the doorway with her hands on her hips, looking incredibly annoyed. She scolds us to stop messing around and not ruin my health, warning her daughter she will regret it later. After a pretty thorough lecture, she drags Nin Thivien right out of the room. I'm inwardly groaning. What kind of absolute joke is this? Right in the middle of my frustration, my phone rings. I see Turnell's number flashing on the screen and immediately hit decline. The caller tries again. I finally pick up, but the voice on the other end belongs to Triu Pan. He sneers that I am somehow still kicking. He says he has Turnell, and if I want her to stay perfectly safe, I better come to him. I instantly hang up, block the number, and just roll over to go back to sleep. Waking up the next morning, find a dozen texts from an unknown number, all from him. He is ranting about taking her out, attaching a hostage photo and an address. desperately demanding to know if I'm actually going to show up. So this guy seriously kidnapped her. Watch how fast things escalate here. I call the cops straight away, then head out with them. Following the address, we pull up to this tiny wooden cabin right on the mountain peak. I kick the rotting door wide open. Trio Pan is sitting there eating instant noodles, but he quickly drops his chopsticks and grabs an axe to hold her hostage. Turnell clearly stayed awake all night, looking completely exhausted and hollow. But seeing me walk in, a spark of pure, touching hope flashes in her eyes. On the flip side, Trio Pan looks absolutely terrifying right now. His face is pale as paper, giving off this really eerie, feminine vibe, and his voice has become high-pitched and grating. He screams that it is all my fault for ruining his manhood, demanding I pay the price, and asks what my move is. He challenges me. If I am a real man, I should trade my life for hers. He says he only needs to take one of us down today. Fine. Then end her right now, I say, turning around like I am leaving. He calls me an absolute bastard. Trio Pan presses the axe against her neck. Just a tiny bit more force, and it will slice right through. I stop walking, purposely goading him on. I tell him to just do it already, since her fate has absolutely nothing to do with me. He grits his teeth, asking if I can really be that cruel. Why wouldn't I be? I haven't spoken to her in 5 whole years, and frankly, I find her disgusting. Turnell starts crying so hard she chokes. She sobs out that she is innocent. Trio Pan just smirks, telling her that I never loved her anyway, and he is the only one truly devoted to her. Through her tears, she cries that she never even liked him and begs to be let go. He roars back he became this monster for her, she cannot abandon him. If they go down together. He raises the axe to finish it, while she just screams in pure, absolute terror. I shout out a loud command to move in. Hearing the signal, the special ops team immediately breaches the room. A dozen guns aim straight at Trio Pan, completely freezing him in his tracks with sheer panic. Turnell seizes the chance, snatching the axe and swinging it down hard, severing his right hand clean off at the wrist. He finally gets arrested, with a very long, miserable prison sentence waiting for him. After several rounds of negotiations, everything is totally settled. I officially announce my upcoming wedding date with Nin Thai Vien. This news acts like a direct boost to the stock market. The Nin family shares just keep hitting the absolute ceiling. After making an absolute fortune, my father-in-law announces he is pumping another 10 billion yuan into my account, helping their family score another massive win. But after waiting forever without seeing that 10 billion dowry, I actually get a little annoyed. I sulkily ask her about it. Wasn't that money supposed to be our wedding gift? When is he finally going to hand it over? She just snuggles right down into my arms, lightly tracing her fingertips across my chest, teasing me until my heart is completely distracted. She playfully sighs, asking if I really care about this pocket change when I am already funding her with billions every single day. My face flushes red, and I tell her to stop joking and be practical. If we don't get this money, the wedding is on hold. She just looks up, leaning close to whisper right in my ear. She calls me a fool and says she is pregnant. I am thrilled but terrified, deciding we register tomorrow and host the banquet next week. The wedding is absolutely packed with guests, bringing together pretty much all the business elites from across the southern province. Nin Thai Vien wears a bridal gown that makes her look like a literal fairy, completely enchanting everyone and drawing endless, non-stop compliments. Guests line up to congratulate me, while plenty of guys stare with pure admiration. But wait for it. Honestly, I have it all now. Wealth, fame, a beautiful woman, and high status. Looking back at Turnell framing me, it feels like a whole different lifetime. I smack my forehead. Today is way too good to waste time thinking about her. But suddenly, a piercing scream echoes right from the main entrance. McDG, you cannot marry her, because only I have the right to be your wife. Oh no, that is definitely Turnell's crazy voice. I look up, and sure enough, she is aggressively storming into the room. Right in front of the entire crowd, She is actually wearing a wedding dress, screaming to marry me. I am furious, but completely confused. Wasn't she still supposed to be under investigation down at the police station? She flails her arms around like a total lunatic, wildly cursing the cops for being evil and sending her away to a hospital. She insists they wrongly called her crazy, screaming that she is perfectly fine. They are just awful people trying to tear us apart. I wipe the cold sweat off my forehead. Turnell has totally lost her mind. Nin Thai Vien steps right up, absolutely furious, demanding security throw her out immediately. But Turnell just rolls up her sleeves like a total maniac. She glares at Nin Thai Vien with this incredibly wild, fierce look in her eyes. I am pretty worried for my wife and our baby. I quickly tell the bridesmaids to escort her safely to the back. Then I try talking some sense into Turnell. You made your choice years ago. We cannot go back. If you actually care about our past, stop bothering me right now. My father-in-law and mother-in-law step right up, sternly blocking me from her. They speak up together. We see McDG as our own son, so back off before things get ugly. Turnell turns completely purple with rage, shaking uncontrollably. She bites down on her lip incredibly hard, completely zoning out from the pain. Now watch this. A wild, hysterical laugh suddenly echoes from the ceiling. Haha, LL, see that? I'm still the one treating you right. Everyone snaps their heads up at the exact same time. It is Triu Pan, jumping straight down from the attic window. I take a sharp breath. This crazy guy is just like a sticky trap you cannot ever peel off. I secretly hit the emergency button to call the cops. Triu Pan lands heavily, missing an entire arm now, but his energy is absolutely fierce. Stun gun in hand, his vicious eyes lock onto me. Chu McDG, we are going down together. He swings the stun gun around, charging wildly across the room. My groomsmen cannot even hold him back. Several brave guests step up to help, but get zapped and drop straight down. In this crazy panic, my in-laws bravely step up. My father-in-law leaps super high, shouting out his special crane technique. My mother-in-law claps her hands together, yelling her own epic move. I silently cheer them on, but reality hits us hard the very next second. Triu Pan fires off two quick blasts. Zap, zap. Both elders get electrocuted and pass out cold on the spot. Seeing things get dangerous, I quickly duck behind Turnell. She is still Triu Pan's true love, so he actually hesitates, totally afraid to just fire away blindly at her. I peek half my head out, taunting him with my finger. Go ahead, shoot if you dare. Triu Pan practically jumps up in pure anger. Chu McDG, you total coward, step out and fight me. Fight you? No way. I instantly pull my head back into hiding. But right in that exact second, Turnell fiercely charges forward, snatches that stun gun, and shoves it directly into Triu Pan's mouth. The noisy room goes completely, totally silent. Hundreds of eyes lock onto Triu Pan. A single tear drops from his face as he looks at her. LL, how could you be so cruel to me? It is honestly a little tragic. Boom. Turnell hits the switch without any hesitation. A massive shock blasts right through Triu Pan. He drops to the floor, twitching wildly out of control. Just then, a special police squad bursts in right on time. They quickly grab the totally crazy Turnell and the escaped convict Triu Pan. Before leaving, she gives me this sad little goodbye look. I cannot help but shiver. I just hope those two crazy villains stay locked together forever, far away from innocent people. Spin-off time, Triu Pan's perspective. Next year, I finally finish my prison sentence. That crazy shock from Turnell permanently messed up my brain. I cannot even speak anymore. I am completely disabled now, and even my most basic abilities as a man are totally gone. All of this absolute misery is thanks to Turnell. This woman is just incredibly cruel. I absolutely must get my revenge and make her pay for everything. Time for medicine. I swallow down 2 calming pills, but a fierce fire of payback still burns deep in my eyes. A few days later, I finally track down her new address. Waiting until late at night, I quietly climb through her window. Turn L is still pretty beautiful, just looking quite exhausted now. She is fast asleep. I stare at her, totally dazed. A really wicked idea pops into my head. But then, after thinking for a bit, I suddenly remember. I do not even have my manly abilities anymore. A huge wave of painful frustration instantly crashes right over me. Right then, Turnell rolls over and slowly opens her eyes. I quickly hide. She gets up, heading for the bathroom. Brace yourself here. I grip a knife, waiting at the door. The shiny blade reflects my totally furious face. I decide to wait until she steps out, then I will finish this for good. Letting her use the restroom first is my final act of mercy. I hear the toilet flush inside. She is about to come out. I grip the handle, ready. Suddenly, the door forcefully swings outward, directly slamming into the blade. The sharp impact instantly defeats me. I collapse onto the floor, completely full of bitter regret. Who exactly builds a bathroom door that opens outward anyway? Watching Tranla sleepily stroll back to the bedroom like nothing happened, I'm completely filled with absolute regret. I deeply regret copying Chumak Duong's thesis back in the day. Setting aside Tranla's perspective for a second, True Fan actually ended up passing away right inside my own house. After looking into it, they concluded he did it to himself. I still have to take psychiatric medication every single day, and I even get these strange hallucinations sometimes. But absolutely everyone keeps telling me that all of this is completely true. I remember what Mak Duong told me before. Karma circles back, and the heavens never let anyone off the hook. This blurry sense of karma gives me real chills, but also brings some kind of unexplainable comfort. From that day on, stuck to a vegetarian diet and prayed constantly, just hoping I could continue this destiny with him in the next lifetime. The full story ends.